Hi and welcome to Shan Makes. In today's episode of Making Mondays, I'm going to show you how to make this cute shopping tote. I would say this bag is more of a medium-sized shopping bag, big enough to put all your essentials in and small enough to carry around. The bag is fully lined to give it structure and a bit more strength. The top edge of the bag bunches up on the side to give it a stylish look. Apart from the bigger compartment, there's 3 smaller pockets inside. Great for holding your umbrella or your bottled drinks. Also, I have included a keychain, conveniently for attaching your keys, wallet or travel passes. When stretched out, this bag is about 45 cm wide. The outside gusset is about 14 cm deep, about 30 cm at its highest point. This is more of a bag that you carry in your hand or in your elbow and not on your shoulder. So let's get started. The main outer fabric is 70 cm long by 47 cm wide. I have chosen to use this fabric because the print is still the right way up no matter which way I turn the fabric. Here's an example. As you can see, this print has been repeated. If I fold the fabric, one side is the right way up, the other side is upside down. There is a way to get around this, is if you connect 2 pieces of fabric together with a seam at the bottom. That way, both sides, the fabric will be the right way up. Here I am using cotton canvas, which is a heavyweight calico. This is the lining fabric. It is 56 cm long by 47 cm wide, the grain line going down this way. The same fabric is used for the pocket, the grain line going this way. It is 24 cm in length by 47 cm wide. This is the handle cover. It is 10 cm deep by 36 cm wide. You will need 2 pieces. This is the lining upper, 9 cm deep by 47 cm wide. You will need 2 pieces. The grain line goes this way for these pieces of fabric, but you can also cut it cross grain. You will need some bag straps. These are about 3.7 cm wide. The one on the left is synthetic, and you would find these on rucksacks. The one on the right is made from cotton. I find this one slightly thicker, even though slightly more softer on the hands after a bit of wear and tear. I find the one on the left is more hard wearing and easier to handle. The biggest difference is the cotton one will fray, while the synthetic one can be sealed with a flame. This is optional. You will need 1 piece of ribbon or tape, which is 32 cm long and about 1 cm wide, and you will need a choice of keyring. This is the handle cover, the smaller piece. Fold it in half and press it with an iron. Repeat on the other piece. Next, get the pocket piece. With the wrong side facing up, fold one edge 1 cm in. If you don't have an ironing template to help, you could eyeball this. Turn it over and press the edge again. Turn the pocket around, making sure the wrong side is facing up. Now press the other edge. Again, press 1 cm in. This time fold again and press another centimetre in. In total there should be 2 centimetres on this edge. This edge is the top edge of your pocket. Turn it over and press on the right side. Now we are going to fold 2 folds like this. Leaving about 1 cm hanging off on the right side and 1 cm hanging off on the left side. Press with an iron to create the 2 creases. You will need this to sew your pockets. Now press the lining of your bag. Make sure the right side's on the inside. Make sure the edges match up at the top. It is important to press a crease line at the bottom of the bag. Press your main outer fabric. Make sure the right side's on the inside. Match up the edges and also press the crease at the bottom. I'll show you how to make a cassette template. You will use this template to mark the gussets on your bag. Get yourself a sheet of paper or card. On one edge, measure up 8.5 cm and 10 cm. Mark these 2 points. Repeat on the other edge. Also mark 8.5 cm and 10 cm. Join up the 8.5 cm mark and join up the 10 cm mark. Cut along the 10 cm mark line. Fold this triangle in half. Mark the top and the bottom of this crease line and join it up with a line. The crease line will become the centre. On the bottom line, you should have 6 cm either side of this crease line, and the top line you should have 7 cm either side. What this means is the bottom line has a 12 cm gusset, while the top line has a 14 cm gusset. Get your pocket fabric. You are going to sew the edge that has the 2 folds. Remember to backstitch at the beginning of your sewing and the end of your sewing. This should be second nature and I won't be prompting you. If you're going to sew a label onto the pocket, do so before you attach the pocket to the lining of the bag. Open your bag lining. Place your pocket fabric on top, with the right side facing upwards. It is very important that you place this exactly 1 cm away from the top edge. Place some pins just to hold it in place. If you place it too low, your gusset template might not work. We are now going to sew down these 2 crease lines. Across the bottom of the pocket, reinforce these 2 edges, but don't sew the left or the right edges just yet. We are now going to reinforce the opening of the pockets. Just do a bit of back stitching at the top of the stitches. Get the two upper lining pieces. Place it so the right side is touching the right side, matching the raw edge at the top. Pin it in place so it doesn't move. Do the same with the bottom edge, but this time the raw edge is at the bottom. Also pin in place. We are going to sew both edges using 1 cm seam allowance. Now I'm going to sew the edge with the pocket underneath. It is very important to not sew the pocket up. Use your finger and run it along the edge of the pocket to create a crease, then you will know where to avoid sewing. Check to make sure the pocket still opens. Sew up the other edge. Now we have to edge stitch both sides. With the raw edge on the right hand side, pull the fabric on top over to the right. Run your finger along the seam to break the grain. By doing this, you don't need to press the seam with an iron. Check underneath to make sure the raw edge is on the right hand side. Now stitch very close to the edge on the main fabric. As you can see, I am keeping the fabric flat and my right hand keeping the fabric taut. Now repeat on the other edge. Now prepare the handle covers. On the short edge, fold 5mm, then another 5mm. You can eyeball this, it is not very important. Now stitch 2 lines. And repeat on the other 3 edges. Now fold the fabric lengthways. Now sew 5mm seam allowance just to hold it in place. Repeat on the other piece. Now fold this in half. On the raw edge, we are going to notch the center. As you can see, the notch is not very deep. Repeat on the other piece. If you're going to sew a label onto the pocket, do so before you attach the pocket to the lining of the bag. Otherwise, like me, I attach it at this stage. Time to attach the ribbon or tape for the keyring. I like to attach mine in the seam on the right hand side of the bag. Otherwise, you can attach it to the upper edge of the pocket. I find that attaching it to the seam is more permanent, while attaching it to the top of the pocket will allow you to change the ribbon when it becomes damaged. Pin the ribbon in place. Tuck the other edge into the pocket so you don't sew it by accident. Fold the lining up, matching the edges. Make sure the edges meet up. Because my seam allowance is 1 cm, I make sure it is 1 cm on the inside that matches, and that's where I place my pin. We can sew both edges using 1 cm seam allowance, and where the ribbon is, I'm going to backstitch to reinforce it. The main fabric piece, we're going to fold it with the right side touching the right side on the inside. Matching all the edges, place some pins to hold it in place, and we're going to sew 1 cm seam allowance on both edges. Adjust the main fabric piece like this. Flatten out the bag corner like this. The side seam is in the centre, making sure the stitch line is right bang in the centre and not the raw edge. Get your gusset template. Match the point of the template with the point of the bag. Match the two side edges. And the most important is to match the stitch line with the centre of the gusset template. Get some chalk or a pencil and mark the 7 cm line. Place a pin to hold it in place. Repeat on the other edge. Repeat the process with the bag lining, but this time we use a 6 cm line. Join the line up with a ruler. Place a pin to hold it in place. As you can see, the stitch line sits slightly below the pocket. If you've done everything correctly, then you shouldn't have a problem here. But if your line is above the pocket, then I would advise you to lower it slightly. Repeat on the other edge. Now sew up these 4 gusset seams. Time to assemble the bag. Leave the outer fabric piece alone. Turn the bag lining inside out. Place the bag lining inside the main fabric bag. We're now going to deal with the side seams. Now get the handle covers. Open the seams and place the handle cover like this, with the raw edges facing upwards. Now match the notch with the bag seams, making sure the seams are open, otherwise you'll end up with some bulk. Use some pins to hold it in place. Repeat on the other edge. Now we're going to sew all the way around the top edge, leaving a gap here so you can turn the bag the right side out. Put your hand inside the gap and turn the bag the right way out. You are almost there. We now need to iron the seams. We are going to press the bag all the way around. Use a sharp object to pull out any hidden seams before pressing. Pull the bag flat as you press, making sure no seams are hidden underneath. Pin the opening in place, ready for sewing. Now we're going to stitch on this bit of the bag, right here. When doing so, we're going to catch the underside of the bag. This is how I set up my machine. I place the seam just on the edge of the inside of this foot. I then lower the presser foot. I then lower the needle to see how far it is from the seam. It's a bit too far for my liking, so I raise the needle and move it 2 steps to the right. I then lower the needle just to check. Yep, that's about right. I don't want it too close. Now carefully sew all the way around, keeping your fabric taut. Time to attach the keyring. Before you fold in the raw edge, seal the ribbon if it's synthetic. This will stop it from fraying. Now fold in the raw edge and sew 2 lines of stitching. I like to burn off the tip of the thread. This also helps it seal, so you be careful if you do this. Time to attach the strap. Don't cut it to length until later. If your strap is synthetic, burn off the edges and stop it from fraying. It'll make it easier for you if you fold it in half and slide it in. Make sure the strap is not twisted. Now stretch out the bag opening. Now cut the strap with extra 1 inch overlap. Seal the edges with a flame to stop it from fraying. Place a pin in the centre and sew 2 lines either side of the pin. We can reinforce it on the side seam a bit later as well. This is after adjusting the strap first. We're going to adjust the strap so that the raw edges is going to be hidden on the inside. Just pull and adjust. This is the side seam of the bag. The 2 edges of the strap should be either side of the seam. So now we can stitch here. Just sew a 1 cm long stitch, making sure you back stitch at the beginning and the end. Repeat on the other side. You're almost done now. If you like to have your handles wide, then leave the next step out. I like it slightly thinner at the handles. So what I'm going to do is to fold it in half and place 2 pins, one at the beginning and one at the end, to mark how long you can stitch. Repeat on the other handle. Depending on the colour of your strap, you may need to change the colour of your thread. So there you have it, your cute shopping tote. Big enough to put all your essentials in and stylish to take out. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you like, subscribe or share. Or visit my website shannymakes.com. If you want to buy this fabric, I will put a link down in the description. So I purchased my fabric from 852fabric.com. 852fabric.com is a small independent family-run business based in Hong Kong. All the fabric is designed in-house. They started designing and printing their own fabric just a few years ago, and I came across their fabric through Facebook. The design is called Dim Sum and the colour is Cloud, but you can get it in black as well as yellow. The fabric I am using is a cotton canvas weight. I believe you can get this in a lighter weight as well as stretch. I absolutely love this fabric because it's great for making bags as well as cushions and table runners. They also do a subscription box where you sign up to, and every month they will send you a surprise box. So this surprise box consists of a certain special or limited print, a fabric with the same design but in different colour ranges or compositions, so you could get a woven piece of fabric or maybe a stretch or a canvas, it really depends. As you can see here, I got some postcards, stickers and 2 clothing labels. I also got a roll of washi tape somewhere. I got half a metre of canvas here in this limited print, which also came in a different colour range. I got a bit more fabric here, but in a lighter weight. I think the 2 fabrics is big enough to make 2 summer dresses for my 6-year-old daughter. So depending on which month you sign on, each box is different. But the most exciting bit was I got a mouse mat. Either visit them on 852fabric.com or find them on Facebook. Here are just some of the samples of fabric you will find on the website. As you can see, there are a slight oriental theme, sometimes with food or Hong Kong architecture. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please share, like or subscribe for more tutorials from Shani Makes. Remember to hit that notification button and I'll see you next time. Bye!